Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a rut, unable to break free from habits that are holding you back? Do you want to unlock your true potential and become the strongest version of yourself? In this video, we'll be exploring 7 bad habits that Buddhism teaches can keep men weak, and how you can overcome them to live a more fulfilling and powerful life. Habit number 1. Suppressing emotions. Many guys have the bad habit of hiding their feelings. This is usually because they think it's weak to show emotion, which goes against what society expects. Buddhism tells us that feelings are a normal part of being human, and that we should recognize, understand, and accept them. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in each moment and being aware of our thoughts and feelings without judging them. We are not being aware when we push our feelings down. Instead, we're making fights within ourselves, which can cause stress, worry, and even sickness. Meditation is one of the most important Buddhist techniques that helps people deal with their feelings. Meditation helps us be present with our emotions, notice them, and figure out why they are the way they are. It shows us that feelings are temporary, like water waves that come and go. We can free our feelings and keep them from running our lives by recognizing and accepting them. Buddha said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." This quote is from the Dhammapada, a book of his sayings. This peace comes from being able to understand and accept our feelings. We deny ourselves this peace when we hold back our feelings. Buddhism also teaches us to be compassionate, both with ourselves and with others. When we show kindness to ourselves, we let our feelings come out and talk about them. Self-compassion helps us get better and makes us stronger on the inside. Not letting our feelings show can also make our connections less real. When we don't show how we really feel, we put up walls that keep us from making real relationships with other people. We can build stronger, more lasting relationships if we let our feelings guide us. So holding back our feelings is a bad habit that makes us weaker. Mindfulness, meditation, and kindness to ourselves can help us stop this habit and live a more real, peaceful, and satisfying life. Habit number 2. Fear of change. Even though change is a part of life, many of us are afraid of it. We can get stuck in settings that aren't good for our growth because of this fear. Buddhist teachings teach us that change is a basic truth of life. Being against change will only cause you pain because everything is always changing. Anicca, or dissolution, is one of the most important ideas in Buddhist beliefs. We can be less afraid of change if we know and accept that everything in life is temporary. We hurt our minds and hearts when we hold on to the past or are afraid of the future. We can find peace if we live in the present and let things change. Buddhism also teaches us to see change as a chance to get better. In every change, whether we see it as good or bad, there are lessons that can help us grow. In Buddhism, the story of the lotus flower is a very strong allegory. Even though the water is murky, the lotus grows in it and blooms beautifully above it. To reach our full potential, we can also get over our fears and welcome change. Mental health techniques like meditation and awareness can help us learn to accept change. We can watch our thoughts and feelings about change without being overcome by them if we stay present and aware. Being aware of this lets us deal with change with calmness and knowledge instead of fear. Change is never painful, said the Buddha. Painful only when you don't want to change. It is possible to turn our fear into power by letting go of our fight and letting life happen as it does. Habit number 3. Holding grudges. Keeping anger is a bad habit that makes us weak and hurts our mind and spirit. Buddhism teaches us how important it is to let go and forgive. When we hold on to anger and bitterness, it weighs us down and hurts our relationships and health. Buddha said that being angry is like having a hot rock in your hand and planning to throw it at someone else. You will get burned. We hurt ourselves more than anyone else when we hold grudges. On the other hand, forgiving someone is a powerful way to free yourself. Loving kindness meditation, or metta, is a strong way for Buddhists to get over their problems. Learning to love and care for ourselves and others, even those who have hurt us, without conditions is part of this practice. We can change our anger and rage into kindness and understanding by sending thoughts of love and well-being to other people. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you agree with their bad behavior or forget what happened. When we let go of the bad feelings that come with the past, we free ourselves from their control. We can move on with a lighter heart because of the brave and strong thing that was done. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule, says the Dhammapada. We can break the circle of anger and hate by letting go of complaints and growing love and kindness. This will bring us inner peace and unity. Besides that, keeping anger can keep us from being truly happy. We miss out on the beauty and joy of the present moment when we are filled with bad feelings. We can experience the good things and take advantage of the chances that life gives us when we let go. Keeping anger is a bad habit that makes us less strong and stops us from growing. Being kind and forgiving can free us from this load and help us live a happier, more peaceful life. Habit number 4. Procrastination. Many people have trouble with the habit of putting things off, which can cause stress, missed chances, and a feeling of not being fulfilled. Buddhist ideas and practices can help you stop putting things off and live a more useful and productive life. Mindfulness is one of the most important ideas in Buddhist lessons. Being mindful means focusing on what you're doing and not letting anything else get in the way. We are not aware when we put things off. We let our worries, fears, and other things confuse us, which keeps us from acting. One of the steps in the Noble Eightfold Path that the Buddha talked about a lot was right effort. Putting in the right amount of effort means being dedicated and determined to our duties and goals. It means taking initiative to reach our goals and not letting laziness or putting things off stop us. Setting clear goals is a Buddhist practice that can help you stop putting things off. We make a plan for what to do by keeping our goals in mind and setting clear, attainable aims. This clarity helps us stay focused and driven, which makes us less likely to put things off. Buddhism also teaches us to break down big jobs into smaller ones that we can handle. This method, which is sometimes called chunking, makes things seem less difficult and more doable. Taking small steps over time helps us build energy and keep moving toward our goals. Meditation is another activity that can help you stop putting things off. Meditation calms the mind, lowers stress, and helps us see things more clearly. It makes us aware of the fears and doubts that keep us from doing things, so we can deal with them when we're calm and focused. Buddha once said, "The trouble is, you think you have time." This is a warning that we should act now instead of putting things off until later. We can stop putting things off and live a more satisfying life by focusing on the present and making quick decisions. Habit number 5. Comparison trap. Comparing ourselves to others is a common habit that makes people unhappy and dissatisfied. As a Buddhist, this is called upadana, which means addiction to comparisons and outside approval. Buddhism tells us that comparing ourselves to others is not the way to find happiness and satisfaction. The Buddha said that everyone has their own way. We lose sight of our own journey when we compare ourselves to others and get caught up in feelings of envy, anger, and not being good enough. Our low self-esteem and inability to appreciate our own skills and accomplishments are hurt by this habit. Mudita, which means sympathetic joy, is one of the most important ideas in Buddhism. Instead of being angry or jealous, mudita means taking pleasure in the happiness and success of others. We can use our tendency to compare as a source of motivation and good energy by practicing mudita. Mindfulness is also a very important way to avoid falling into the comparison trap. By paying attention to our feelings and thoughts, we can tell when we're comparing things and choose to shift our attention to something else. We shouldn't compare ourselves to other people. Instead, we should focus on our own progress and growth. Buddhism shows people how important it is to accept and care for themselves. Accepting ourselves completely, flaws and all, helps us feel at peace and happy inside. Being able to accept ourselves lets us enjoy our own unique road and be proud of our accomplishments without comparing them to those of other people. It's said in the Dhammapada, "There is no fire like passion, there is no shark like hatred, there is no snare like folly, there is no torrent like greed." This quote helps us remember that bad feelings like envy and jealousy are bad for us and stop us from growing. Giving up comparisons frees us from these bad feelings and helps us find true happiness within. In other words, comparing ourselves to others hurts our happiness and sense of self-worth. People who practice mudita, awareness, and self-acceptance can get out of the comparison trap and live a happier, more satisfying life. Habit number 6, neglecting physical health. When we don't take care of our bodies, it weakens both our minds and bodies. Buddhism teaches us that unity and balance are important in all parts of life, even in our health. Taking care of our bodies is important for both our health and our mental growth. The Buddha talked a lot about the middle way, which is a road of balance that stays away from extremes. This idea also refers to our physical health. We show respect for our bodies and build a strong base for our spiritual practice by eating well, working out regularly, and getting enough rest. If you follow Buddhism, your body is a valuable tool that helps you reach enlightenment. Taking care of our bodies is a way to show our appreciation for this vessel and make sure it works at its best. When we don't take care of our health, it gets harder for us to do awareness and meditation well. One of the most important things that Buddhism teaches is how to eat with awareness. Being fully present and aware while eating means paying attention to how the food tastes, feels, and what it does for you. We can have a good relationship with food and make better decisions for our health if we practice mindful eating. Getting regular exercise is also a key part of staying healthy. Just like we train our minds by meditating, we need to train our bodies by working out regularly. Not only does exercise make our bodies stronger, it also lowers our stress, clears our minds, and makes us feel better all around. The Buddha taught that the body and mind are linked. When we don't take care of our bodies, our minds also get worse. When we take care of our bodies, we create a peaceful space that helps our minds and spirits grow. The Buddha said, "To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear." Being responsible for this task makes our mind and heart stronger, which helps us live a more peaceful and satisfying life. Habit number 7, not taking responsibility. Not taking responsibility is a bad habit that keeps us from reaching our full potential and makes us less strong. Buddhism shows us how important it is to take responsibility for our own thoughts, actions, and choices. Karma, or the rule of cause and effect, is one of the most important ideas in Buddhist beliefs. The idea of karma tells us that what we do has results, and we are responsible for those results. By being accountable for the decisions we make, we can change our fate and make the world a better place for everyone. Buddhists believe that practicing awareness makes us more aware of what we do and how it affects other people. We can make choices that are in line with our ideals and principles when we are aware of what we think, say, and do. Being aware of this gives us the power to take responsibility for our activities and how they affect the world around us. As one of the steps in the Noble Eightfold Path, right behavior, the Buddha stressed how important it was. Doing the right thing means making moral and reasonable decisions that improve our own and other people's lives. When we do the right thing, we are accountable for our actions and the results they have. Being responsible also means admitting when we're wrong and learning from them. One of the most important ideas in Buddhism is to improve yourself and grow. We can turn our flaws into strengths if we admit we're not perfect and promise to get better. You are your own master. You make your own future, says the Dhammapada. This verse tells us that the things we do and the decisions we make can change our future. We give ourselves the power to make a better future when we take responsibility. Taking responsibility also makes you feel more honest and trustworthy. We build trust and respect in our relationships when we take responsibility for what we do. Being honest makes us stronger as people and improves our health as a whole. So, not taking responsibility is a bad habit that makes us less strong and stops us from growing. We can break this habit and live a more powerful and satisfying life by being aware, doing the right thing, and being responsible for our actions. We can live a strong, peaceful, and happy life if we understand and change these habits. Remember that taking small, thoughtful steps is the first step to growing as a person and as a spiritual being. Take these lessons to heart, and may you have the strength and knowledge to break these bad habits and live a more powerful life.